The ethnocentrism, I suppose, of the West, which is a long-time characteristic, a long-time problem, which actually continues, I think, today in Turkey's desire to join the European Union, this historical view of the Turk. What makes a European in and of itself? It's just so, it's so difficult to say. If you ask what makes a European, to most people it would not be this picture. Because they've got the dark hair, the olive skin, the look to most people in Europe is that it's more, well, I don't know, I hate to use the term Aryan, but fair, blondish, not dark, I mean, and yet Greece. They could all be Greek.
Turks, I think, are themselves a little bit doubtful about whether they're really European or not. There must be a self-concept that is at bottom based on the idea of blood in the old European sense of it. In other words, not only you have to be born there, but your parents and your ancestors back to infinitely far back in time.
I mean, I was born in England, but I grew up in Australia. So I've never put a lot of thought into what it means to be a European.
I come from an immigrant country where everybody has an origin someplace else, and everybody becomes an American. So I can't understand what is so exclusive about Europeans. From my point of view, of course a Turk could become a European or an American.
Australia's a multicultural society. We've got 150, 160 different nationalities. So what makes an Australian?
I was astonished. Firstly, I was really feeling in Turkey, I was feeling very much like in Romania. So the way the relations are, the way the people are talking, the way the people are behaving towards each other, and so it was very much like home.
For me, Turkey was part of East, and in fact, it turned out that it is more part of Europe than I expected.
About the people I've met in Turkey, I don't feel they're strangers to me any more than people in Greece or people in Italy. My culture is different, but I feel that they have much more in common with Greeks or Italians or Spanish people than with, I don't know, Chinese.
And I can feel sometimes that some French living in Turkey or in Istanbul are behaving like it was an ancient colony. And of course I don't agree with this behavior. We don't learn a lot of things about Turkey in French schools.
So the only memory I have of Turks, or well, it's not very exact, but Ottomans, was a book, a very well-known Hungarian book, which paints them really, really badly, as in it talks about the occupation.
We learned like this. They were very cruel, and they killed so many people, and they wanted all the time the harach.
There was a game where you had to throw balls into the mouth of a man, and the man was a Turk. And there is still an expression, être la tête de Turc, to be someone, the Turkish head of someone, which means the one who will throw all the bad things at.
You know, of course we learned many things about Ottoman Empire, about the history of Turkish-Russian relations, and of course Turkey was always a very important country for Russia, but I would say it was a sort of favorite enemy.
So imagine, I mean, for the European people that they have such a bad image about the country.
There was an illustration, the Turks, how they are, and it was very negative, with long big nose, long nails, long fingers, big belly, very, very greasy type, and just repulsing for the European. And I'm sure this is the kind of thing they do before they get to occupy a country.
The Turk has a power of sitting still, of doing nothing, which seems to us animal rather than human.
And as I was married to a Turk, and I suffered from that a lot for the first years, my husband is very happy with a book, a seat, some music, or a friend, one word every 10 minutes, plenty.
So this is what I like about the Turks, this way of living. I mean, they're cheerful.
Sitting with friends, having tea, chatting, relating, talking about things that are important to you is very important. This culture places a lot of importance on it. I must say it's not something that I can do that much, although I've been here a long time. I've been here a very long time. Somebody coming from the States would think of that as doing nothing.
They like to enjoy and they like to sit this dinner that never finish, but it's a good thing, I believe. It's not such a bad thing, I mean, like in the comment.
I felt it was cultural, and I feel it's the civilization of being rather than having and doing, as we are in Europe.
But the work ethic is not the primary motivation, the primary motive force in this country. And underlying that, I think, is a different philosophy of life.
The Turks are not nearly as concerned with the termination of actions. Evet, orada bir haklılık payı vardır. Gerçekten ben bir Kuzey Alman protestan olarak diyebilirim ki nasıl diyebilirim, yarın yaparız, idare eder, sonra yaparız, yahut da işte yarın yaparız den ne kastedildiği burada yeni öğrendim. Yani yarın yaparız dendiği anda yani belki yarın, yani şimdi yapmayalım diye anlıyorum.
Onlar başka gün olabilir, inşallah, kim bilir, neyse. Çok var ama işte it's very interesting about psychologic thing. For me, it's not a problem. This is a problem of bizim için problem of adaptation of this structure of mentality.
Yani bir mantık var ama o mantık sizin düşündüğünüz gibi değil. Bir mantık vardır, yok değil. Bence işte orada bir sistem de vardır. Fakat ben bu sistemi anlamıyorum.
When we were talking about, let's say, I mean, we will have an exam, let's say Friday we'll have an exam for admission, for instance, for PhD and so. So it's a very serious subject. And even like this, we meet all the teachers together, we meet at lunch, and I'm asking what time will be the exam. And they say, well, it will be in the afternoon.
Türk bir söz vermiş. Yapacaklar.
Ne zaman?
Sonra yapacaklar. Ama yapacaklar. Onlar çok eminler.
I think that's a very special thing about the way that people relate, especially people of the same sex, perhaps particularly women here in Turkey, who get together with each other and seem to share a lot of their lives in a way that more individualized Americans don't seem to be able to do.
You see only kadın, savaş, kadın, savaş. For me, it's fanatism. In a way, it's something like football stadium. It's meaning that is it a role protest or it's organization protest? It's a question. I don't know. If it's organized, it's fanatism. It's not organized, it's another thing. It's revolt. But
1907'de böyle bir resim görmekse hiç mümkün olmazdı. Yani batıl inanç, ayak takımlık, dini fanatizm, dini aşırılık. Yani bu resmi böyle görmek kesinlikle en akla yakın, bir Orta Avrupalı için en akla yakın olan şeydi. Ve batıl inanç, dini fanatizm konularına gelince bu insanların çoğunda belki bu gibi şeyler vardı ki belki de yoktu. Bilemeyeceksin. İtikatları kullanma şekilleri ise ilk Irak Körfez Savaşı'na karşı beraberce Münih'te katıldığımız gösterilerin kullanış şeklinden asla pek farklı değildi.